Hello, Mr. Lonza. Today I'm going to be presenting to you my semester presentation of TOK. I'm going to be explaining to you everything, my AOKs, my ways of knowing, claims, counterclaims, everything. And my title of the presentation is Sense Perception Applies to Everything by me, Dago Hode. I hope you like it. So my real life situation is about a scientist that describes how the coronavirus spreads in a restaurant by using a virtual seating chart from the own restaurant to demonstrate how people can get infected. This doctor is Dr. Sanjay Gupta. He's specialized doctor on medicine, and he studied on Princeton and was interviewed in CNN about a month ago or so. So my knowledge question is, how does sense perception help prove the explanations of different fields of study? The connection between my knowledge question and my real life situation is that this real life situation has a connection with the field of study, since this scientist uses vision, or the visual chart in this case, to explain the current virus in the world, which is the coronavirus. And this could also apply to any virus in the world by using a virtual chart to demonstrate it. As well, the senses are involved in current day problems and situations, and the disease correlates a lot with the senses. Commonly, every disease we have symptoms, and the symptoms are senses that we feel in our body. So that's the connection between the knowledge question and the real life situation. To continue, here are my ways of knowing and my areas of knowledge that are going to be presented in this presentation. My way of knowing is sense perception, and my area of knowledge are the natural sciences, mathematics, and the arts. Here you can see a picture of the senses, which is vision, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. A picture of the arts, which is my other area of knowledge presented, and the mathematics. So development number 1 is based on the natural sciences. So my knowledge claim is sense perception helps prove the explanations of the natural sciences through models that represent real-life situations. The justification for this and how it connects to my knowledge question is that this claim links to my knowledge question because all the senses can be used in the natural sciences, which is the specific field of study. To prove its explanations, the senses can be demonstrated through models. One very good example of this is our own bodies. Our own human bodies could be interpreted as models which can demonstrate the natural sciences. The effects that happen on us humans that make us reach conclusions on the conflicts of the natural sciences and its big mysteries. How do we feel? The counterclaim for this development on the natural sciences, my counterclaim is that sense perception doesn't correlate with the natural sciences to help prove explanations through models. And the justification to this is that sense perception can help explanations in different fields of studies, but the natural sciences are not reliable, mostly. So since the natural sciences are based on empirical facts and data, the senses are not shared by everyone. Everybody feels different things, although they can be going through the same situation. And an example of this is that the natural sciences correlate more with reason due to its fact that it's based on facts. So, for example, Louis Pasteur's experiments are based solely on facts without the use of senses. My second development is on the mathematics. So my knowledge claim is sense perception can help provide explanations of mathematics through mathematical models and systems. The justification for this is that this claim links with my knowledge question because I explain how sense perception is involved in the mathematics and the role in it. An example of the mathematics correlating with the senses, sense perception, is Braille. Using Braille for mathematics is a way that the sense of touch can be used or employed to solve mathematics with the Braille system. So the main sense here with the mathematics in this knowledge claim is touch. The counterclaim, however, for this development on the mathematics is that sense perception doesn't correlate with mathematics, since mathematics don't need the use of the senses. And the justification is that sense perception is useless in mathematics, that it's that other ways of knowing, like reason or language, are more logical in the mathematics and are seen more often. And an example of this is that language makes more sense than sense perception, since common language in mathematics is represented through adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing symbols, as well as many others. Whereas with sense perception, it is very hard, actually. That's why only Braille was hard to find, since it was hard to look for something that how sense perception correlated with mathematics. My third and final development are the arts. So my knowledge claim for this development is sense perception can be involved in demonstration of the arts to majorly influence artistic creations. And the justification for this is that this claim links to my knowledge question because all the senses are involved in the arts and the arts reflect the senses. An example of this could be the involvement of listening music to understand the lyrics of the song and the meaning of the artistic piece and what it reflects. This, what I'm meaning here is through the sense of hearing, of listening to music and interpreting it through the hearing. My counterclaim, however, for this development of the arts is that sense perception is not involved in the demonstration of the arts because emotions have a bigger weight in them. This links to my knowledge question, since the emotions are more important than the senses in the arts. The emotions outweigh the senses. And one example is emotional music, which involves much more the emotions than the senses. And as I mentioned before, emotions weigh more than senses in paintings and sculptures, not only in songs. To conclude, so the perspectives I covered in my presentation is that the senses are involved in many different areas of knowledge, and I analyze those, and I also have the counterclaims to counter these perspectives. And that talks about how sense perception has nothing to do with certain AOKs. My main argument was that the senses are heavily involved in different areas of knowledge through different types of demonstrations involved in those areas of knowledge. My conclusion at the end is that the senses are involved in the different areas of knowledge whatsoever, and that in every area of knowledge, the senses are involved because the senses makes us have interactions with the physical world. Relating back to another real-life situation is a real-life situation from Al Jazeera, which I extracted. It talks about how mosques in Pakistan are centers where the coronavirus is spread easily, and this reflects the sense in the real-life situation like this one, where if it weren't for the senses, let's say touch or tasting or whatever sense people interact with, this wouldn't be happening. There would be no coronavirus, no symptoms, no diseases, no reactions. So this is how I connected this real life situation to the one in the beginning from CNN and Dr. Sanjay Gupta. And this is my works cited. Thank you, Mr. Alonzo, for listening to my presentation, and I hope you have a good summer and have a good rest. Thank you.